Good morning. I am Dane Alexandrian Jones, a member of the class of 2014. I also serve as the Vice President for the Martin Luther King Jr. International Chapel Assistance Program. Before Anwar Johnson comes this morning with a presentation of the senior crown, let us pause for a moment to pray. Great God of the universe, we pause this morning to be grateful. We are grateful that as we continue our academic journeys of growth and enlightenment, we are not alone. We know that we are filled with infinite divine power. We know that the same power that creates and sustains all of existence is even now directing our lives. We know that this is a good day to be alive, a good day to reach for our goals, a good day to strive for excellence. We are reminded that all of life is on our side, and it is with this blessed assurance that we go forward in peace and in hope. And so it is. In your name we pray. Amen.
The difference between truth and fiction is that fiction must make sense. Your opinion is simply a manifestation of what it means to be true, just how I am a tangible figment of your imagination. You believe me because you've conjured me in a sense far too unconscious to be commonly thought. Simultaneously, you've built me up and broken me down in the split of a second, and you didn't even take the time to notice the infinity between us. Men of Morehouse, I want you all to know that this may be the very last time you ever have a clear understanding of what the truth is. We'll start at the beginning, where truth is absolute, and the sole reality existing is God and water. Now, this is supreme actuality because, well, it's what I've been taught. It's what we've been taught. But you see, these teachings have been twisted and blended over the eons past. What makes a language is the fact that it has been isolated with no words added, while a Creole is an amalgamation of different languages. So, somebody here tell me exactly what is the truth if I can speak it in so many different editions. I don't know what's real or what's not. Because if you say that you're real, but you believe you're realer than the rest, but you honestly think you're the realest to have ever lived, then one of you here has to be a fraud. Or is it possible that all of you are true, but none of you are absolute? All of you are just translations of what it means to be true. So what does it mean to be true? I don't know what's real or what's not. I've locked my soul inside of my head and turned this college into an asylum in my quest for the truth. I've been torn in between listening to professors with too much legitimacy, going back to a neighborhood submerged in the horrific veracity of what it means to be black in America, living the rest of my life through my written work, or being stuck in a chair with a PhD as hollow as my heart. Straitjackets aren't meant to keep people safe from you. They are to keep you safe from yourself. And it is time to tighten up, gentlemen. This matriculation will be one of the most critical aspects of your lives. Welcome to the mystique, brothers. Will you perceive it as smoke and mirrors, or will you wear it like a crown? Will you double back to the beginning to douse any doubt that has flared, or will you burn in your ignorance? Oh, excuse me. I mean truth. Your journey begins here, gentlemen. You will forge a path from sweat and tears and blood and failure and success and enemies and allies all together. Because the pursuit for certainty is far greater than the goal. And that is the truth. Men of Morehouse, truth.
Good morning. It is a great day to be here at Morehouse College. Is it not, gentlemen, ladies? This is homecoming week, and we've already had many days of celebration. And I know that you've also celebrated your quizzes and tests that you've had this week as well during the midst of the hip-hop concert on Monday, the neo-soul on Tuesday, and comedy night last night. So tonight and today we will begin our quest of celebrating those who have come before us, those who have stepped forward and paved the way for us here at Morehouse College, our alum, and we are celebrating those that are here that are creating history even this week. These individuals that we'll be recognizing today are the individuals that we celebrate and that we acknowledge and that bring spirit and life to our campus are the men that participate in intercollegiate athletics. So at this time, let us acknowledge those individuals who will be on the field as well as on a course in Tuskegee for the championship, the SIAC cross-country championship that takes place this weekend, and to acknowledge all of the individuals, your peers, that are here working hard as scholar athletes. Morehouse College, for the 5th time in 6 years, has won and earned the SIAC Commissioner's All Sports Award. For you to know, this award recognizes Morehouse College as the best men's athletic program in the Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Morehouse captured first by winning conference titles in cross country, track and field, second place in basketball, golf, and tennis for a total of 41 points. Their nearest competitor was Stillman College, which was second with just 24 points. Morehouse, we want to recognize these individuals by also acknowledging Morehouse head coach Grady Brewer, who was voted SIAC Coach of the Year, and 2 Maroon Tigers were voted to the All-SIAC basketball team. Morehouse College's basketball team also earned a share of first place in the SIAC East Division. This past spring, 2013, when we had the great event of the President of the United States being here at Morehouse College to celebrate with us as well as to earn his degree as a Morehouse man, we boast of 29 student athletes that graduated in this May 2013 class. And so at this point, we will recognize individuals that have made up the leadership, and when I announce their names, and then the team will stand and acknowledge, and we'll acknowledge them as well. First of all, the Director of Athletics, Mr. Andre Patillo, class of 79. Mr. Terry Alexander, class of 05, head tennis coach. And will the tennis team stand if they are here in the room? Mr. Grady Brewer, class of 80, head basketball coach. And the SIC basketball team, will you stand? Now, Mr. Willie Hill may not be here because the cross-country team has left for travel, but we will acknowledge Mr. Willie Hill, head cross-country coach, as well as track and field coach, and any of the members of the track and field team that are here now. Will you please stand? Is Mrs. Mia A. Welsh here, the head cheerleader coach? I saw them outside in the lobby area, and acknowledge the cheerleaders of Spelman College that serve as our cheerleaders here at Morehouse College. We would also like to acknowledge Mr. William Lewis, head golf coach, as well as Mr. Robert Mitchell, head baseball coach. Will they stand? Okay. Last but not least, we have the world-renowned Mr. Rich Freeman, head football coach of our 2013-2014 football team. Will Mr. Freeman please stand, as well as our student athletes, our scholar athletes of the football team. Please stand. Good luck this Saturday as we get ready to beat Benedict College. Not meet, but beat Benedict College this Saturday at our homecoming game. At this point, do we have Miss Maroon and White here? Is Miss Maroon and White? Jasmine Matthews, Miss Hawkins. Will our court please stand and be acknowledged, as well as the advisor of Miss Maroon and White. Thank you for being here, ladies. At this time, we will turn it back over to Mr. Anwar Johnson, who will introduce our speaker of the hour.
Mr. Charles David Moody is President and Chief Executive Officer of C.D. Moody Construction Company, a commercial construction firm which Mr. Moody founded in 1988. Since 2000, Mr. Moody has also served as a director of Citizens Bancshares Corporation, a bank holding company traded on the OTC Bulletin Board, where he is a member of the Loan Committee, a member of the Executive Committee, and chairman of the Asset and Liability Committee. The first project of C.D. Moody Construction Company, Inc. was a joint venture with Otis Bellamy of Bellamy Brothers on the Underground Atlanta project in 1987. Since then, C.D. Moody Construction Company has grown from $1 million to over $70 million in annual revenues. The company provides a wide range of construction services, including design, building, new construction, renovation, and construction management at risk. C.D. Moody Construction has been involved in many commercial, industrial, institutional, and hospitality projects. Other notable projects C.D. Moody has worked on include the Olympic Stadium, Morehouse College Leadership Center, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta, Turner Baseball Field, Phillips Arena, Home Depot, and for Disney, the conversion of a shopping mall into luxury office space. C.D. Moody Construction Company, based in Lithonia, Georgia, in 2010, the company landed at number 49 on the Black Enterprises 100's list of the nation's largest Black-owned industrial service companies. For more than 20 years, Moody has led contracting and construction management projects in Georgia and throughout the southeast region of the U.S., including renovations of some of Atlanta's best-known landmarks, such as the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Moody has been recognized with numerous awards for his business leadership, including being named Minority Contractor of the Year by the National Association of Minority Contractors and the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Mr. Moody derives great joy from dealing with Atlanta's youth. He has coached soccer, football, and basketball, and serves as a mentor father figure for several young African-American males. He is an ardent career day supporter of local high schools and often chooses to serve as the company's representative at these functions. His firm also has partnered with Stoneview and Shadow Rock elementary schools, providing resources and support. In addition, the C.D. Moody Construction Foundation provides scholarships to minority students. Over 80 scholarships have been awarded since the foundation's inception in 1989. He has endowed scholarships at Morehouse College, Howard University, and Central State University. Howard University has named the design studio after Mr. Moody. Mr. Moody's hobbies include golf, weight training, and relaxing. He and his wife, Carla, reside in Lithonia, Georgia, and have 2 adult children, Charles III and Karia. Brothers, it is an honor to give you our beloved brother, Mr. C.D. Moody.
every time I hear my introduction, I always look around and see who they're talking about, especially for my classmates who went to school with me. You know why. And I'm sitting here and standing here today. I'm just honored to be here. Now, let me tell you something. I remember 39 years ago coming here, sitting in freshman assembly and sophomore assembly, so I know you don't want to hear this old dude talk. I get it. But I promise you, I won't be long. I'm going to try and say something to make you think about life and not wasting this great opportunity of being here at Morehouse. Now, before I get started, if you are a son of one of my classmates or somebody I know, you need to stand real quick because I told your parents I'd make sure you were in here. Chris Colley Jr., Lyndon Long, come on, y'all, stand up. Let me see you. Stand up. I need to see you. Wave to me. Okay, there. Oh, so you're late. All right. Who else? Craig Williams, boy, where you at today? Okay, I'm checking y'all. All right. I told your parents I was going to check. That's the kind of guy I am. Some of y'all late and didn't show up. All right, any of my classmates from 1978, real quick, please stand. I see my man. That's my old roommate, Alan Peterson, and Jeter, Edwin Moses, Byron John. Hey, 78. And any of my old football class, or any of my old football teammates from Morehouse, stand. Well, everybody knows Captain Tiger Turner. He was a captain in Morehouse for 42 years, but he was here forever. I'm not here to tell you how you need to live. I'm not here to tell you what you're doing wrong. I'm just here to tell you my story and let you decide. I'm going to share with you my fears, childhood trauma, hope, joy, going for your dreams, and just going for that best part of life, which is getting through those challenges. I'm 57 years old now, so when I talk to you about a lot of things, I'm talking to you as a 57-year-old man, not how I was when I was 19 or 22 sitting here like you. So a lot of what I'm going to say is not going to click to you till you get married, have kids, go through some stuff and go, man, now I get it. Because right now, I'm just this old dude talking to you, so I understand. I remember coming to freshman and sophomore assembly, and I'm going to tell you a couple stories real quick. When I was in freshman assembly, and we was in Sale Hall, and we had seat assignments, and that's how they marked us here. Well, I was up in Sale Hall, and I sat in what they call that jury box. Well, anyway, the problem was whenever we got out of assembly, all the food was gone. So, because they only gave you one helping of everything, and that was it. Well, one time we had the 5 blind boys from Alabama. I mean, they getting it. They're playing up a storm. They're like, does anybody feel me? Does anybody feel me? So I looked at my old roommate, Alan Peterson. He a good Kappa man, but I'm a Q, but we still good buddies. I said, Alan, we getting out early today, buddy. I said, just follow my lead. So the 5 blind boys is working it. I jump up and act like I didn't got the spirit. Now, I'm not telling y'all to do that. You don't play with God like that, but I was hungry. So the Lord understood. So I said, Alan, I'm going to make one loop around. On my second loop, y'all get behind me. They got behind me, and we went out the door and got to lunch. Now, I'm not telling y'all to do that. Times are different. Now, the other thing, Coach Brewer stood up there, and I got to tell you a couple of things about a few people real quick. Now, Coach Brewer is an outstanding coach and a fine man. But back in 1975, in Thurman Hall on the second floor, Coach Brewer presented one of the best halftime shows in the Dome of all times. They put a sheet over their door, and we would all get in the hallway. He had a teammate named Jesse. This is when the Funkadelics was out. Jesse would put on his big wig and a diaper and these big old boots, platforms, and he'd come out and do a dance to the Funkadelics. But Coach Brewer would go, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, welcome to the stage. So, for basketball team, that's the other part of your coach. And he had this big old afro. Now, President Wilson, you're not a president. I'm going to keep it straight. But President Wilson and I were in school together, and our frat houses were next door to each other. Now, President Wilson could twirl that cane now. Oh, he could go now. They used to do this, doom, 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 doom. Isn't that a job? And John had an afro so big that his baseball cap looked like a yarmulke. Now, I'm going to tell y'all the last kind of funny story, then we're going to get down to business. All right, my senior year, I decided to run for Mr. Spellman. Now, the ladies set us up. They didn't tell us till the day of we had to do a talent. Now, I don't have a talent. So I get up there, because I've never been a person that had good sense. So I decide I'm just going to speak and say something very profound. My frat brothers out there, the ladies, they look at me like, Moody, I know this ain't all you gonna do. And just the night before, I had watched the Elvis Presley movie. Now, for y'all who don't know, Elvis was the man back in the day, and we loved us some Elvis movies. And all of a sudden, I'm like, man, what I'm gonna do? I'm in a jam. So all of a sudden, I go, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Elvis Presley is in the house. I imitated Elvis Presley. I start singing Elvis. They go nuts. I'm just making up words. But that's what Morehouse teaches you, how to be quick on your feet. Understand that. Morehouse prepares you in ways you will never understand. I graduated in 4 years, but here's the part. My last year, I took 46 hours, 23 and 23. And made the honor roll both times for the first time in my life. That's because see, this is back in the day. This is before the internet and cell phones and all that and email. My daddy sent me a card. And all it said was, son, it was in the summer of 77. It says, son, I promised you 4. Love, Daddy. I knew what that meant. You don't get out in 4 years, Bubba, you on your own. I went to school from 8 in the morning to 5 at night. I was at Morehouse, Spellman, Clark, Morris Brown. I'm taking classes because I'm getting out. And the reason I'm telling you that, guys, you can do it. I made the honor roll. But something really important happened to me when I was here. I regret that I did not take advantage of everything Morehouse had to offer when I was here. I didn't study the way I needed to, and I'm going to tell you a story later why. But it's not an excuse. It's just something that's real. But I regret it. Don't regret the opportunities later in life. Morehouse is incredible. The friendships you will make, the relationships you will make. It is unbelievable. I mean, look, I got buddies here I've been knowing for 39 years, and we still like this. And we tell the same story over and over and still laugh like it's the first time we heard it. Because that's what Morehouse does for you. I regret I didn't become a Phi Beta Kappa. I regret I didn't become a Merrill Scholar and go overseas. Don't let life get by you. It goes so fast. And the reason I'm telling you that, just yesterday, a fellow Morehouse athlete, class of 83, he died. Dr. Raymond Scotty Brown, Skip Brown's brother, my classmate and teammate. He was a doctor in Oklahoma, had a massive stroke Sunday. He died yesterday, 52 years old. Life goes so fast, man. Don't waste it. Don't waste it. Make good choices. Now, one of the things I want to talk about that happened to me, and I endowed a scholarship after my football coach, Coach Michael Gray. And the reason I did, he gave me a scholarship, but my senior year, I got mad and I quit the team. And after a couple of days, I went back and he wouldn't let me back. That taught me the greatest lesson in life, never quit. Because I could never go back and play my senior year. There are some things in life that you cannot go back and do. Don't waste it. And the funny thing is, there's not a day that goes by I don't regret quitting on my teammates, my school, myself, and gave up a scholarship because I got mad. Now, who won in that deal? Never make emotional decisions, gentlemen. Think about it. Now, after I finished Morehouse, and how's my time doing? I want to make sure I'm okay. All right. Now, the other thing is I asked them, could I show you some slides, right? And they told me we wouldn't be set up. Then at 7 in the morning, oh, yeah, so that's Morehouse. They're going to keep you on your toes. And I was never good at pop quizzes, so I'm going to try this in a minute. Now, somebody came in, I got to tell you, athletic director Andre Patillo. Now, that's my class, my teammate. Now, let me tell y'all something. That was probably one of the best athletes to ever come through Morehouse. Seriously. He still holds the record for average yards per punt, played pro baseball till his arm went out, could kick a football for days. Athletics at Morehouse is important. So many great men are doing great things who play sports here. Never regret playing sports at Morehouse. You're making a difference for yourself and the school. I want you to be proud of what you do. And students, get out there and support your men who are out here working hard. Morehouse was safe for me. I needed Morehouse when I came, and in a few minutes I'll tell you why. But the 4 years I had at Morehouse was the best 4 years in my life as a young man. I was safe, secure, and the friendship I made was incredible, but it instilled in me the desire I could overcome anything and I could do anything. I really believed it. I mean, to be doing what I'm doing today is really surprising for me because I love architecture and construction. And what ended up happening when I finished Morehouse, I went to Howard and got a degree in architecture. And I started working in architecture for Bechtel Power, one of the largest engineering construction companies in the world. And I worked in the nuclear power business. Two things happened. My daddy taught me, he said, son, when you get a job, wherever they want you to go, you go. So I was out in these job sites in no man's lands building nuclear power plants. None of the other architects wanted to go. They all wanted to wear the shirt and tie. I'm like, man, send me. I fell in love with the action of construction. I fell in love with the dirt and watching it get built. I also realized I didn't have the patience for architecture, and I also realized I was just going to be average in architecture. So I took my architectural knowledge into construction. And that's the other key thing I learned in life. Know what you're good at. Be real about it. Don't let your ego get you in this way to thinking, I just want to do this. Know what you're going to be great at and do that. Never do anything for money. I know you're saying, man, you got money. You can say that. There's a difference. Be good at what you do and you'll make money. But also how you spend your money. I sit on a bank board. There are people who make millions of dollars a year who are broke, and there are people who make $60,000 a year that are wealthy. It's what you do with the money you make. And let me tell you something that taught me a great lesson and prove what I'm talking about money. Steve Jobs is one of the richest men in the world, wasn't he? He couldn't buy one more day on this earth. Do you not think he wouldn't have gave it all away to keep living? Never worship money. Never worship money. Anyway, 1992 was the year my life changed. I had been in business for 4 years, and I told something to my wife that I had never said. I had been sexually abused as a child, and I kept it quiet. I had been sexually abused by a male babysitter. And I thought when I said it, it was okay. Something came up where I needed to tell my wife because somebody we knew had been abused, and I finally said it. Well, I started having panic attacks, post-traumatic stress syndrome, pretty much a nervous breakdown. But the thing that I learned about God's grace, I was still able to do the things I needed to do business-wise, and my business never suffered. But I was in the worst pain I had ever been in my life. It's taken me 22 years to get to where I am now that I can say it out loud. It was the Penn State scandal that made me finally say it. The damage that was done was unreal, but Morehouse put in me that drive to get through it, overcome trauma. Here's the other important thing. Everybody has a story of some sort. Don't ever think your story's so bad, because trust me, there's another story that will make you feel like you're in a walk in the park. So don't use whatever's happening to you in life as your excuse on why you're not trying or why you're not doing. I got an email at 5:30 this morning from a gentleman. I have a blog that I started to tell my story a year ago. This blog has now been read in 65 countries. It's www.moodyspeaks.com. And I tell of my journey in business, and I tell about surviving sexual abuse. I got an email this morning from a gentleman I don't know, and I probably get 2 or 3 a week, that just said, thank you. He said, because I was abused by a Catholic priest at 17, and reading your blog has helped me. I had a lady last week who's 49 years old saying, thank you. I'm going through panic attacks. I can't hold a job. My father abused me. This is real. Gentlemen, if you need help about anything in life, talk to your counselors. The other thing, gentlemen, when you're dating, be respectful. Never force yourself on anybody. The damage you do to yourself and that person is not needed and is unfair to that person. That person didn't deserve that. You're Morehouse men. And there's nothing greater in life than be a Morehouse man. I've been happily married 31 years. My lovely wife is here. My son is here, class of 2007. And his fiance, Spellman, 2008. I'm telling you these things because I want you to understand. Regardless of what you go through in life, you can make it. Life is good. Life is worth living. Life is going to have challenges. But Morehouse prepares you better than you ever realize. Also, give back. Do you know if every living alumni just gave $100 a year for the rest of their life, we'd never have a financial problem? But so many of us want to complain about the food wasn't hot when I was here, the shower wasn't. That's an excuse. We got to support our school. We need you. And I want this class of men to be the first ones when you graduate. Make a commitment. $100 a year. Guys, we waste $100 going out a couple of weekends. We know it. Come on. You can give $100 when you graduate. And to all my fellow Morehouse men that have already left here, let's set a record between now and Christmas on alumni giving and the amount of people that give. Let's make Morehouse the first HBCU with $1 billion endowment. I believe it. Have integrity, character, honest, and always be humble. People are going to say bad things about you, but when they pull back the onion, let them see that it's not true. You can't stop people talking about you. But let your walk, and when they dig in, let the real you be there, and it's good. That's what Morehouse does for you. Real quick, Edwin Moses, my classmate. When Moses was here, we didn't have a track at Morehouse. We didn't have a football stadium, none of that. We practiced track at Washington High School. Edwin Moses said, I'm going to the Olympics. Now, we didn't do it in front of him, but we laughing. Because we ain't got no track. How are you going to the Olympics? Greatest hurdler of all times. Why? Because Morehouse taught him to believe in his dreams and go for it regardless about how people laughed. Spike Lee, year behind me. Spike was over at Clark making these little 8mm movies. We're laughing. Spike, ain't nobody gonna watch it. What's Spike now? Great director. Because he what? He went for his dreams. I still have classmates who come back to the reunion going, Moody, who really runs your company? Because they remember me from school. It's like my old roommate. He's a dentist. I told him, I'll be no teeth. You're not getting in my mouth. I was your roommate. I know how you study. Great dentist. That's the problem you're going to have to understand. All the silliness you're doing, nobody forgets. So when you come back and you're all distinguished, it's going to be guys like me go, come here, let me remind you about so-and-so, so-and-so. There are going to be people to do that to you. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to close with this. I heard it, but I'm going to get a quick version, John, for what Congressman Sanford Bishop told us about Howard Thurman, real quick. Howard Thurman was born and raised in Daytona Beach, Florida. He could only go to 7th grade. This teacher was so impressed with him that he went to the superintendent and said, you got to let this guy have one more year of school. Superintendent said, man, please, we're not doing this. Black kids, this is not going to happen. He said, but bring him here and let me check him out. He was so impressed, he said, we'll give him one more year, but don't ask me for high school. 8th grade does great, and he finds a cousin in Jacksonville, Florida, where there was a black high school he could go to. So that summer, comes from a very poor family. He raised the $3.25 for the train ticket. And when he went to buy the ticket, he paid the money. Now, his one piece of luggage was all broke with no handle. So the man then said, I need $2.20. He said, for what? He said, for your luggage. He said, if you don't have a handle, it has to go freight. He only had a quarter, and that was to buy a sandwich. He goes out on the train platform, and he sits on his luggage, and he's crying. All of a sudden, this very tall black man that he didn't know in overalls grabbed him and picked him up and said, why are you crying? He told him the story. He went in his overalls, took out his last couple of dollars, and went and paid for his ticket. He never knew the man's name. That man never knew what happened to him and knew his name. I'm telling you this story because every one of you need to be that tall, dark stranger someday. Every day, you remember that story. And you make sure before you leave this earth that you are a tall, dark stranger for someone. Give and never expect anything in return. Never. It's the greatest feeling in the world to give. Trust me. And I'm going to close with this. Every business, every company, every person who's doing incredible things started with a dream and a vision. Why not you? Thank you.
Every man and woman is born into the world to do something unique and something distinctive. If he or she does not do it, it will never be done. Good morning. I'm Gary Talib Wright. I'm the director for the Counseling Resource Center here on campus. I want to thank Brother C. David Moody for answering the call. The courage to share the intimate parts of ourselves is rare and a measure of our humanity. I invite all of us to meditate on the spirit in which this message was offered to us today. As an alumnus of this fine institution, it makes me proud to say that C. David Moody is my brother. While we were not at Morehouse at the same time, I know that the elements of the man he is today were easily seen back then, despite what he's already said. And I think about my time here, and I think about the guys that I met back in 1987 when I was a freshman. And all of those brothers that I continue to keep in touch with, I'm not at all surprised by who they are and what they're doing. Some of those brothers in here right now. So if back in the day these guys were always reading books when I saw them, they're probably writing books right now. If back in the day these brothers were about the business, they own a successful business right now. If back in the day these guys were always throwing parties, they're probably making money throwing parties right now. Conversely, if they were about drinking and drugging, they're still struggling with those demons and addictions right now. If all they were doing was chasing after their next sexual exploit, they're still dealing with that right now. I say all the time, be the man you want to be right now. Be the man you want to be right now. Morehouse is about transformation. Brother Moody has set forth an example that should be followed. He has provided us with a template for character and self-understanding and knowing. As you sit in those seats and ponder his message and marvel at his success, ask yourself if you are the man you want to be right now. If not, then begin that transformation and be that man now. The subject matter that was shared can be challenging. And I want people to know that there are resources on campus. At the Counseling Resource Center, we have licensed therapists that can help you through any issues that you may be dealing with. In addition to that, we recognize that oftentimes students don't want to come and speak with administrators about issues that they may be dealing with. Therefore, we have peer counselors on campus. If there are any peer counselors in here right now, please stand. Even if you're not a peer counselor this year, but you were trained as a peer counselor in previous years, I want you to stand. I want you to look at the faces of these young men. Each of them has made a commitment to making this campus a better place. And each of them can provide a resource, not only in the moment, but also for referral. Thank you, gentlemen. Give them another hand, please. I know time is short, so I want to close. Again, I want to thank Brother Moody for his timely message, and I want to thank you all for your attention. Thank you very much.
Good morning, gentlemen. I want to acknowledge a few people. First and foremost, Dave Moody. I know we just gave him a few more hand clasps, but that was very powerful. That was very powerful, and I think we should acknowledge being with him on this campus. I could tell some stories too. But what I know right now is that, yeah, go ahead, right? Omega Sci-Fi, okay? I'm going to leave that alone. I don't have a cane right now, right? He's very successful. He's on the board of trustees. He cares about Morehouse. And if you love Morehouse half as much as he does, our future is real bright. All right, that's Dave Moody, and I thank him for coming today. I also want to acknowledge my wife, First Lady of Morehouse College. She's in the room. Carol. Carol, stand up and say hi. Let me tell you something. Carol, you all know Dr. Carol Espy Wilson has a business in D.C., and she has needed time to migrate it down here, take advantage of some of the brain power that Morehouse produces in association with Georgia Tech and some brain power at Georgia Tech. And we think it's very important that we take our time migrating this business because it has high potential to make a real difference in the world, and especially for Morehouse College. So I acknowledge her, and I'm glad she's here and will be here for the next couple of weeks. I want to acknowledge two more people, actually three. There's a guy sitting in the front row who Dave Moody acknowledged, and he and I grew up together. His name is Byron Johns. Wave, Byron. He's the class of 78 with Dave Moody. And just about 60 days ago, he came and dropped his son off here at Morehouse as a freshman. Where's By? Is he in the room? He better be, right? Right. Where is he? Oh, here he is. There he is. Okay. We got him. All right. He's not in trouble. And that's a great thing, too, fellas, to bring your son here. Two more things. I have to say, seated next to me is my predecessor and friend and president of Morehouse College, just leaving, Robert Michael Franklin, is in the house, all right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. He and I have known each other for a long time. He graduated in June, and I came in September, but we overlapped in graduate school and have known each other ever since. I love and respect him, and I'm glad he's here today. And now finally, even though Dave Moody acknowledged him, I'm going to say this one final thing, and then we're going to sing the hymn, and we will be dismissed by noon, as is our commitment to you. When I was at Morehouse, it was a great experience. Yes, Spike was in our class. We had a number of people who were doing some interesting things, had some trajectory. But I got to tell you this. The most amazing thing that happened while we were at Morehouse is when in 1976, I was a sophomore, and there were the Olympics going on. And I remember, it's the Summer Olympics. I was in Philadelphia, back in Philadelphia. And there was Philly. And there was a guy on the television with Morehouse across his chest. Now, we knew he was going to the Olympics. He used to come in the cafeteria. By the time the semester was ending, it was like, wow, he's gone. I could not have been prouder that summer when I saw him clear those hurdles before anybody else, again and again and again. Honest to God, man, our chests were out. When we came back that September, everybody had Ed Moses on our mind. World record, and still holds the world record. So I know Brother Moody acknowledged him, but I just got to say, brothers, when you leave Morehouse, or even while you're at Morehouse like he did, just have your mind on doing extraordinary things. I'm echoing what Dave Moody said, but to see that happen in real time while we were students at Morehouse, and to come back and there he is in the cafeteria again getting that same food. And he's an Olympic champion, a gold medalist in the Olympics. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So he's in the pantheon now with all of our illustrious graduates. And I just need to acknowledge him in a special way. Please stand up one more time. Ed Moses, let's give him a hand he deserves as an Olympic champion and a Morehouse man. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He knew he could run and clear hurdles, and he went to the top. You know you can do biology, and you need to go to the top. Whether it's biology or chemistry or political science, whatever your field is, aspire to the top. And then all you freshmen know, what have I told you? Handle your business, all right? That's the way you get there. Now let's all stand and be led in the singing of the hymn by Henry Goodgame. If you will make your way up here very quickly.
Never mind. That's okay. 1 second, gentlemen, real quick, I just wanted to tell you, if you ever need to get in touch with me, my email address, if you ever have any questions about business, life, anything, is dmoody@cdmoodyconstruction.com, and feel free to get in touch with me.
We're going to sing the college hymn, then we're going to follow it with a fight song.
Dear old Morehouse, dear old Morehouse, we have pledged our lives to thee, and will ever, yea, forever, give ourselves in loyalty old Morehouse may we be, so to bind each son the other into ties more brotherly. Holy Spirit, make us steadfast, honest, true, to old Morehouse and her ideals, and in all things that we do.
Now, in 1911, Mordecai Wyatt Johnson left the college with his first college song called the Fight Song. Let me see if you remember it. Let's go, alums. Morehouse College, Morehouse College, Morehouse College, bless her name. Whether in defeat or victory, we are loyal just the same. And we'll cheer for Morehouse College. Tis for her we'll fight for fame. And we'll sing her praises loud in every land. Morehouse College, bless her name. Happy homecoming, everybody. Let's go win the game.